ברשות כל הקדוש, everybody welcome. בעזרת השם ברכה הצלחה ליעקב בן אשר, רפואה שלמה, רפואת הנפש, רפואת הגוף, שבעזרת השם תצליח בכל דרכיך, וגם תברך את הקריאות דניאל בן מיכאל, זיווג הגון בשנה הזה בעזרת השם. גם we're gonna say quietly. יהי רצון ולומר אמן. 1000 הבדלות בין המתים לחיים. לעילוי נשמת רום הרחמים בן נלה מזל הלוי, רוח השם תנחנו בגן עדן, הוא וכל השוכבים עמו בכלל רחמים והסליחות, וכן יהי רצון ולומר אמן. We continue in our פרקי אבות, משנה פרק ד', chapter 4, משנה ב', which is second משנה. בן עזאי אומר, הווה רץ למצווה קלה כחמורה. בן עזאי says, we need to run for the mitzvah that is so light, or so that is not so important in our eyes, like it's very, very important. Borech min avera, and we need to run from the avera, from the sin. Mitzvah goreret mitzvah. Chazal tell us mitzvah, a good deed, bringing in another good deed. Avera goreret avera. And sin cause many sins to be upcoming to the person. Schar mitzvah, mitzvah. The reward for the mitzvah is the mitzvah. The schar avera, avera. The reward for the sin is the sin. We're going to elaborate in this Mishnah. Heve ratz le mitzvah kala kechamura. We need to run for the mitzvah like it's called in our eyes. It's not so important, but we have to make it important. Kavana likayem mitzvah bazirizut. Our Chazal tell us we need to do the mitzvah fast and quick. Mare'at shkato ha-mitzvot. When we want to do something and we have something for desire, how fast and quick we do it. V'haritza, devar mitzvah chashuv yoter mi-mitzvah atzmo. What is the important? The mitzvah itself or the running for the mitzvah? Chazal says the mitzvah itself is much greater to run for the mitzvah and the mitzvah itself. Kamo she'amru b'barachot, igra de parka rachta. What is the reward for the mitzvah? Is to run after mitzvah. לכן אמרו בברכות, מסכת ברכות in page 6 says following, לעולם ירץ אדם לדבר מצווה אפילו בשבת. Chazal tell us, even for the mitzvah, even on Shabbat, we have to run for the mitzvah. שנאמר אחרי השם ילכו כאריה ישג. Like the verse says, we're able to come this verse, to come in its place. אחרי השם, after the Hashem, we need to go like the lion is roars. צא מלמד אברהם אבינו שביום השלישי ממילתו. אברהם אבינו on his third day, where he had the ברית מילה, ראה 3 אנשים ניצבים עליו. 3 people is approaching אברהם אבינו. קרבין ידמו לו. Chazal tell us, they look like Arabs, even though the Arabs wasn't back then. But that's what the Chazal says. קידושין, מסכת קידושין, דף ל"ב. למורות כאביב וירץ, ויברא ויקראתו. וירץ ליקראתו. Ka'aviv, like he saw the father, vayira vayirats likrato. He saw and he ran to approach these 3 people, 3 Arabim, 3 Arabs. Kam la'achar meken, vala bakar aratz Avraham. Then Avraham also run after the bakar with the cow, after the cow. זה פירשו מה שכתוב בשיר השירים. המלך אסור בלהיטים, מלך מלכי הקדוש ברוך הוא. אסור וקשור עצמו בגלות, באותות אהבה. We need to know in the galut, we need to exile, that we have to have the ahava, the love, שבכל מקום גלו ישראל שכינה עמהם. Anyway, the עם ישראל came to the exile, הקדוש ברוך הוא, the שכינה is with us. בלהיטים בזכות אותו 2 מצוות, ריצת אשר אברהם רץ אברהם בקלות אורחים. So, בקבלת אורחים. אברהם אבינו, in the 2 mitzvot, that because he made it, הקדוש ברוך הוא is with us in the exile. בקבלת אורחים, for him accepting the guests. וכן אמרו, רודף צדקה וחסד, a person runs after the charity and kindness, ימצא חיים, he will find life with צדקה וכבוד. He's going to find charity and he's going to find a kavod. It's a respect. שכל הרודף לעשות צדקה, whoever runs after to do charity, מוציאו לו מקום מאוד. הקדוש ברוך הוא is going to find for him money, ובני אדם הגונים לעשות בהם צדקה. And people that is הגונים, which means there are proper people that would give him the charity. שבדרך אדם רוצה ללך, a person, whatever path he wants to go, מוליכים אותו. מסכת מכות says in page 10, a person, the path that he wants to go, they're going to escort him. בכל זה שאמרו חז"ל בפסחים. This is what the Chazal says, מסכת פסחים, in page ד', page 4. זריזים מקדימים למצווה. We need to fast and quick, run after the mitzvah. שנאמר, like it says, וישכם אברהם בבוקר. Like it says the verse, Abraham woke up in the morning. וכן נאמר במחילתא פרשה בו, ושמרתם את המצות. It says in פרשה בו, מחילתא, ושמרתם את המצות. We should keep after the matzot, so would not be tachmitzena, should not become sour, should not become chametz. Mitzvah ba'aliyatcha al tachmitzena. Chazal says mitzvah came to us. Do not give the mitzvah to be soury. We have to run for the mitzvah that is so-called light in our eyes, like it's so important. Parashat Ekev Dvarim Yudbet, Zayin Yudbet. And Parashat Ekev says following. Vaya Ekev. And this is the heel. Notrikaun avodah. Ekev Ain Kuf Bet. It's avodah kala b'kiyuma. Chazal tell us we need to do anything that comes to the mitzvah fast and quick, like we. Avodah kasha kiyuma pirusho. So Chazal says, what about the person? It's very hard for them to do mitzvah. Pirush ave ratz mitzvah kala kechamura. Chazal says we need to run for the mitzvah that is cold and not important, or we're not respecting the mitzvah, like it's very, very important. Ze avodah kala b'kiyuma. This is what the Chazal tell us that we have to do so quick and fast. Like a hard work to do, a hard job, the same thing when it comes to the mitzvah, we have to do it so light and so quick. Boreach min ha'avira. Chazal now tell us, run from the sin. B'kiddushin, Masechet Kiddushin in page 40 says following. Ayeti Rabbi Tzadok tava oto matronita echad ledavar avira. Rabbi Tzadok, one of the ladies, there was Nochriya Goya, she told him to do a sin with her. Amar la, lo tamti hayom klum. Rabbi Tzadok says, I did not taste anything today. V'chalash lebi, I'm weak. Im yesh davar ma le'echol. You have what to eat. He asking Rabbi Tzadok, this Goya woman. Amru la, yesh basar. She said, I have a meat. Aval hu lo kasher. She says, I have a meat, but the meat is not kosher. Amar la, ma nafkamina. Rabbi Tzadok says, what's the difference? What's the difference if I'm going to do this type of sin or this type of sin? He says, this is food not kosher. You not kosher. She turned on the oven and she wanted to cook the meat. Rabbi Tzadok went inside the tanur because the tanur was so big, and he went inside and he sit on it. For Rabbi Tzadok happened a miracle. He did not became, nothing happened to him. Amru lo, ma ta oseh? Amar lo koseh davar avira kazot nofel bavesh geinom. Whoever does this type of sin is going to fall to the geinom. Amru lo, lo yadati chamorot avira zo lo yitzararti kol kacha. This matronita, this Goya says to the Rabbi Tzadok, if I knew you're going to be such in pain, suffering, I would not make you a pain and suffering the way I gave it to you. Kach amru al Rav Kahana, she'ala ala ilem yafet tovar, va'ita lo kupar orchalim. Rabbi Kahana used to sell perfumes and colognes for his daily substance. Matronita had natana nabo, one of the, again, Goya, she put her eyes on him because she wanted to do a sin with Rav Kahana. Lidvar amala ani tzarich likanesh l'shurutim. Rav Kahana says, I want to go to the bathroom. Ra'ashem chalom tzar. Rav Kahana saw there's a window that is very, very narrow. Alav yipil atzmo misham. Rabbi Tzadok went through the window and threw himself out of the window. Bo Eliyahu ikabel oto bezro'otav. Rav Kahana, Eliyahu Hanavi came in. he picked up with his hands Rav Kahana while he's falling from the window. Amar lo Eliyahu, ma asita? Eliyahu Hanavi says to Rav Kahana, what did you do? במקום רחוק הייתי וטרחתי אותי לקפוץ מארבע עמוד פרוסות לבוא לכאן להצילו. He says, Eliyahu Hanavi, I came from the very far away just to catch you so you will not die. מי גרם לי כל זה? He says, what caused me to be in such a situation that I'm in? העניות שיש לי. Rav Kahana says, I'm so poor. ואני זקוק לפרנסה. I'm looking for the parnasa, for the substance. נתנו לו כל מלא דינרים, ועליהם נאמר גיבורי כוח, עושי דברו לשמוע בכל דברו. He says, רבי צד, אני זקוק נתן לו כלי מלא דינרים. אליהו הנביא gave him full of bucket of the gold and diamonds. ועליהם נאמר גיבורי כוח, עושי דברו לשמוע בכל דברו. Somebody is in a rich and a power, the people able tend to listen. בספר אבן ספיר, מסופר רב מקובל רב שלום שרבי. רב שלום שרבי, he was a big tzaddik and a Kabbalist. ראש ישיבה בית אל. He was the ראש ישיבה of בית אל. בצעירתו היה נער יפה תואר וירא השם. Rabbi Shalom Sharabi was very beautiful rabbi. Back then he was just a gentleman. פרנסתו על האש היה רוכל בעיר בסמים בדבר חפץ קלים, נותנים בקופות הרוחליים. He was also selling perfumes to make a parnasa so easy. שעבר למכור את סחרתו בעיר צנועה אשר בתימן. He was living in city of the Teiman. ראתה אותו אישה שר ישמעאל עשירי. So the woman saw him, which is Goya, Arab Goya. She was the rich man wife. וחמדה אותו. She desired for Rav Shalom Sharabi. קרא לו לעלות לקנות ממנו דבר מה. She says, come upstairs, Rav Shalom. He wasn't back rabbi. Come upstairs. I want to buy something for you. פתחה לו דלת וכנס. She opened a door and he went inside the house. מיד סגרה את דלת אחריהם. She right away closed the door. תבעה אותו לדבר עבירה. And she wanted to make a sin with Rav Shalom Sharabi. בראותו כי אין מפלד לו. Rav Shalom see, he cannot do nothing. ביקש ממנו שתראה להכן דרך השירותים. Rav Shalom says, where's the bathroom? כי צריך לחסן את רגליו. He says, I need to number one. I need to go to the restroom. תראה את הדרך שירותים. She showed him where's the bathroom is. ראה שם חלון קטן מאוד. There was a little window inside the bathroom. דחק עצמו והיפל מן החלון. He pushed himself through the small window and he went from the window. He threw himself from the window. לארץ גבוה 3 קומות. It was 3-story building. From the 3rd floor he fell. Rav Shalom Sharabi. נעשה לו לס ולא ניזוק. It happened miracle, nothing bad happened. ויקם על רגליו ויברך וימלט. He went away from that house. And וילך משם מעיר לעיר. He went from the city to the city. ודור נדר לעלות לירושלים. He made a neder promise that he's going to go to the city of the Yerushalayim. ועל העיר עדן. He came to the city of Adan. משם יצא לבגדד, אשר בבבל. He went from Idan to Baghdad, which is Babylon. משם מצא ישיר ועלה האיש לארץ ישראל. Rav Shalom Sharabi finally got to the Eretz Israel, to the holy city. נבנה שם על ידי גאון רבי גדליה חיון. רבי גדליה חיון was the Rosh Yeshiva עוד ישיבת בית אל, למשרת ראש ישיבה בית אל של רבנים המקובלים. Rav Shalom Sharabi became the Kabbalist of the Rosh Yeshiva of the ישיבת בית אל. מצווה גוררת מצווה. Chazal says, מצווה brings a מצווה. מעשה באיש אחד, יראת שמיים היה לו תנור בחצרה שהייתה אופה בו את הפת. There was one incident, a woman, she had a fear of Hashem. שהייתה לה תנור, she had a she was baking bread inside the oven. מדי יום ביומו, every day she used to bake bread. יום אחד קרה שאחר אפייתה לחם, צריך אותו יום, בו לפניה אני בבכי. In a day that she of course bakes every day, and that day she was baking, and one poor person came in, and he started crying, בתחנונים, and he started begging. יוחז אותו זעלפות רעב. He was so hungry. ותתחנן לפניך שתתן לה מה שלאכול. The poor guy tells in front of this lady, יראת שמיים, please give me something to eat. והוציאה האישה כיכר לחם ונתנה לה ותושיב רוחו אליו. A woman came out and gave her bread that she cooked her for herself and her family members, and she gave it to him. עוד זה מדובר בו עני אחר שגם עברו עליו 2 ימים ולא בא בפיו דבר מאכל. Back to back, another poor person came in, and he's also asking something to eat. And she also, תתחנן לפניה, he begged, this poor guy, another one, back to back, begged in front of her, שתן לו משהו לאכול, to give him something to eat. הוציאה האישה כיכר נוסף נותן לו. A woman came out and gave him another piece of bread to the different pauper guy, which is the poor guy. והלחל וישת יברך ברכת המזון. These 2 people, poor people, was blessing the ברכת המזון, in ברכת האישה, blessing the woman. ברוד האישה שלא נשאל בביתה מה לאכול. Woman has nothing to eat in her house. זולת שקית של בד מלא חיטים. But she have a one bag of the chitim, which is a grain, which is not even melted the grain. תיקח את החיטים, תלך את הריחיים אשר על שפת הים. So she needs to take the bag of the grain and she needs to put to the grinder. לטחון אותו, to grind it and grind it. וערכה שטחנה אותו. Once she's going to grind it, she's going to להחזיר את הקמח על השקית. Then she bring the bag of the flour. ותשים אותה על קלפה. So what happened? She grind the chita, the grain. Whatever the grain she grind, it became, of course, flour. And she puts the flour on her shoulder. Al mana lelush et hakemach. And she able to again make flour, and from the flour dough, and dough a bread for her substance, for her food. Ulam ba'avura leyad sefat hayam. She went, of course, through the river. Okay. Bitom ba ruach hazaka. All of a sudden, a very hard ruach, which is a wind, came in. Vayifi et sakit el toch hayam. All the bag, it was such a big ruach, big wind, and this wind basically flew away her bag with the full of flour that she had. She does not have nothing to eat. Now she goes to the Bet HaMidrash, samuch lachof hayam. It was a Bet HaMidrash study hall where the Talmidei Chachamim study, close to that beach. Ledad ma'asa Hashem lakach. She wants to know, why did Hashem did to her whatever he did. Sipra et ha'maaseh lifnei rosh yeshiva. Whatever the bag, she just fed the 2 people, the bag flew away, and she wants to ask the Rosh Yeshiva, why is it happening to her? The Rosh Yeshiva says, let me think what happened to you. At the same time that the woman came in, 2 people came in and gave a good amount of money to the Bet HaMidrash. They told the Rosh Yeshiva, whatever happened to them in the sea, they came from the sea. They were far away from the beach. It says the boat, it got hit by the rock. It became whole inside the boat. All of a sudden, the water started entering the boat. It says, if the water is continue going to inside the boat, the boat is going to sink. And whatever we had inside the boat, everything is going to be sink, including us. They made a promise. They were Jewish sellers. They made a promise. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to do miracle for these sellers, so would not drown in the middle of the sea. They said we make a promise that whatever we have in our possession, and we're going to give a big amount to the study hall, where the people study Talmidei Chachamim. אך כאשר קילו הדבר את דבריהם, once the Rosh Yeshiva heard from them, the stuff that he heard, like whatever we said the story, שמה כל ההבטה סמוך לנקב של הענייה. So, all of a sudden heard in a boat, the hole was closed. מיד פסקו המים לזרום לתוכה. All of a sudden, the water did not enter the hole that it got hit, the boat got hit through the rock. ואחר כך יגיעו בשלום לחוף בטוחים אלא נמל שלמים גופם במונם. They became, nothing wrong became to the sellers. They were fine in their money. לכן באו בית המדרש לשלם את הדינר אשר נדרו להשם יתברך. Whatever the neder they made the promise, Hashem nafsham b'chayim. Hashem is giving back the life. ולא נתן לעמוד רגלם. They're not able, they will not die. ושאל ראש אישה, מה טיבה הבטה שעמד בכניסת המים לענייה? He said, what caused the hole inside the boat to be closed? ואמרו, המתין לנו, נשלח לבדוק הדבר. They said to the Rosh Yeshiva, these two sellers, let me go back to the boat and check what caused the hole to be closed inside the boat. וילכו וייכנסו לתוך הענייה. They went inside the boat. מצא שק בד מלא, בצק סגרה את החור של ענייה. Whatever the lady, so what happened? Whatever the bag flew away, so the boat, whatever the hole that it had, that was the close. It was closed down by that bag. ויבואו אותו לבית המדרש, they brought the bag to the בית המדרש, שאל את ראש ישיבה, את האישה, האם השק הזה שלך? The Rosh Yeshiva is asking, is this bag is yours? וטענה כן הדבר. The lady says, yes, this is my bag. ואמר לה, אתה ראי, נא איזה זכות אותך מן השמיים. The Rosh Yeshiva says to her, how much zchut, how much merit that you have, that the Kadosh Baruch Hu even save people that's supposed to be drowned. ועל ידי שחייתי נפשית עניים בלחם שנתתי להם, because you gave the pauper to the poor people bread, ואתה זכית עוד לצלות את נפשי ענייה. He says, not only that, you're able to save people that's supposed to be drowned. שהרוח העיפה את השקית הקמח, the reason הקדוש ברוך הוא took the bag and threw it inside the sea, ועדי ללוכלכית מים נהפך הקמח שבו לבצק. He says, whatever the water that entered to this flour now became a dough. וסגרה את החור שנקף את הענייה. Whatever the hole that he had inside the boat, it was closed. ואז סדלו המים לזרום לענייה. Then the water stopped entering the boat. והלך נאמר מצווה גוררת מצווה. And it says over here in a פרקי אבות, מצווה caused the מצווה. אשרך וטוב לך. It says, praise word to you is good for you. האישה שמחה מאוד בדברי ראש ישיבה. The woman became very happy whatever the Rosh Yeshiva said. בכסף אשר בכיס שילמת קנתה מן החנות פת ולפתן. The kesef, בכיס, whatever the money that the Rosh Yeshiva received, part of it gave to this woman, and this woman not only to bake, she able to go and take the bread that is already baked. ושבל ביתו לסועד את לבה, שמחה וטוב לבב. She came to the house with a happy heart. Mitzvah גוררת מצווה. Mitzvah caused to become another mitzvah. מעשה באדם אחד שיהיה זהיר במצוות בין אדם למקום. There was one person, he was very, very careful between Hashem and him to do mitzvah 100%. Between humans and humans, he was not doing not at all 100%. מתפלל בכל יום 3 תפילות בציבור. 3 times a day he prays with the congregation. But he does mitzvah between him and Hashem, no problem. Between humans and Hashem, between humans and humans, he did not do that mitzvah. We're going to take. אבל הייתה פגיעה רע, כי הייתה מלשין ומוסר למלכות מי שעובר זכורים בלי מחז כיוצא בזה. The problem this person had, he would be snitch on a people snitching, on a Jewish people, whoever is going to sell merchandise, they would not pay taxes. כיוצא בזה. משה להפריץ, שלהעיד מעמיד לרשותו עגלה עם העגלון חרוץ. Every time the government put by his house a horse that able to, a horse and a carriage that able to run to the government and snitch on the people that would not pay on the merchandise taxes. Shomer rosh im haneshek. He says by his house was also a police that with a gun. שבכל קם שיצא יכול לבוא אל המושל למסור כל מידע שיש לו. Every time he wants to snitch on a people, he would tell to this police that they put by his house, they will go and they would capture these people that he snitched. פעם אחת ביום חורף, one time in the time of the winter, סגרירי ציווה למולשן לאגרון, לרתום את הסוסים כדי לנסוע למושל. So this is a snitch. He says, I have something important to tell. Says, get the horses ready. לגלות מידע חשוב מאוד. He says, I have a very important message to the government. שאינו סובל דחוי. He does not able to סובל, he's not able to sustain, that is something very important. והעגלון רתם את הסוסים. The horse carriager. He right away prepared the horses. ויצא לדרך עם השומר ראש, מלשין שהוא חומש בנשק. Of course, there's police with him. And they go to the government to snitch on these people that did not pay taxes. לשמור כל פגיעה. So anybody wanted to do some damage to the snitch, not able to do it. בדרך התחולל, סופת השלג. The more he's going to go to the government, on the way it's a lot of snow. שלג, הרבה שלג. רוצה עגלון לשוב לביתו. Now, all of a sudden, he sees a lot of snow, the snitch. He wants to go back home. על המלשין עיכב בידו, והורה לו שנוסעו הלאה. He says, no, we need to go more forward and forward. We cannot stop. אל המושל, הוא יושב בפנים והעגלה, עטוב במעיל פרווה. The snitch is sitting with a beautiful clothing and a beautiful jacket and a beautiful, that something will keep him warm. מצא להגיע בקדם. באמצע הדרך, he saw in the middle of the way, ראה מלשין שבעוד זמן קטן יעבור זמן מנחה. The snitch saw that the mincha will pass. ציווה לעגלון לעצור כדי לאפשר לו לעמוד בתפילה מנחה. He says, stop, I want to daven מנחה. הוא ירד סמוך לפרדס אחד. He was closer to one פרדס, which means forest. ועמד להתפלל בצל האילן. He went and prayed by the tree. ואמרו חזרנו בתשובה שלמה לפניך. In the 18 we say, חזרנו בתשובה שלמה לפניך. So Hashem brings us תשובה complete. שאם הם שם אל ליבו, את הדברים היוצא בפיו, he really paid attention to words, the snitch. וחשב כנה אני הולך למסור יהודים. Says, I'm going to go and snitch to Jewish people, על שעבר על החוק, because they went against the law. מי יודע איזה עונש יוטל עליהם? Who knows what kind of punishment they're going to get? ואני מבקש לחזור בתשובה, and I'm asking Hashem to turn me to the tshuva, to make me tshuva. הרי זה כגונב דעת עליונה. It's like stealing from Hashem. כמו מוטל שרץ בידו. It's like having something not kosher in your hands and you dip it in a mikvah. הוא המשיך בתפילתו. He's continued davening mincha. שהגיע ברכת לאמינים ולמלשינים, אל תהי תקווה. We say, the snitches should not have any tikva, any hope. פורץ בבכי. All of a sudden he starts crying, the snitch. להחליט שעליו לחזור בתשובה שלמה. All of a sudden he wants to become tshuva. He wants to do the tshuva, repentance. ומה שיסיים תפילו ואמר, אלוקי נצור לשוני. When he finished the prayer, he says, let my tongue to keep, לשוני מירה, should I not say bad. חדר הדברים, אלו בליבו. The inside his heart went these words. גמר אומר בליבו, אפילו אם יכהו בשוטים. He says, even though they're going to start hitting me and beating me, accusing me, לא יצא אגם מפיו. He says, I'm not going to say anything. The snitch already become a tshuva. שאומר דברים אלה בכה בדמעות שליש. When he said these things, he was really, really crying. הנה רוצה לעלות על העגלה. Now he wants to go again back to horse carriage once he's finished the תפילה מנחה. ציווה את העגלון שיחזרו אותו הביתה. Now the snitch saying, because he became tshuva, says, now bring me back to my house. כי הוא חש בראשו. He says, I don't feel good. I have a headache. The snitch saying. הצרף עגלון לעשות כן. the horse carriage, he says, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take you back home. Especially when he saw, when the snitch, he started crying in a prayer. He says he realized that in his head, that he was a snitch. The security that the snitch had, he says, no, we cannot stop. We're going to continue. We're going to come to the government and make sure he's going to start snitching. They put him inside the horse carriage forcefully, and they brought him to the government. Now the government is asking, what's happening? We need to know what's in your heart. He's like a deaf person, he cannot speak, he's not opening his mouth. The security guy for the snitch guy and the horse carriage, they said everything that they saw. Minhag היהודי אשר סיפר את השניהם חזרו בתפילתו של היהודי שמתגוגג בבכיותיו. They saw the way he prayed. He says he's a Jew. He prayed, and he prayed with the tears, with the crying. שהבינו שאכל מפני מחשבותיו. They understand what happenings in his brain. המושל איים עליו שאם לא יגיד את המדיעה שלו. Now the government is accusing him and threaten him. If you're not gonna say it, we're gonna start beating you. שהוא מסרב. He does not agree. ציווה המושל להביאו שני שוטרים גיבורים. Says, bring me the 2 police. So they start beating him. להתחיל להצלב בשוטים מכות גדולות נאמנות. They start beating him על גביו של היהודי. The snitch guy became תשובה. הוא קיבל על עצמו למראה חטאו בייסורים האלו. He accepted upon himself. The more he's hitting him, the more isurim he's having it. This is for his kapara, for his forgiveness. Whatever he snitched on a people, so many people, that he, and whatever the process they're going, or whatever the isurim these people are going, he caused them. He started crying in his bad deeds that he did. They hit him harder and harder. They hit him almost 100 times. They were hitting him with the strength and the power. They threw him out of the police station. Now he's laying on top of the snow. He started asking for help. Nobody helping him. Is everything broken? The bones are broken. Shotet dam. Blood is over. He went on top of the horse carriage, but went back to his house. When I go back to his house, all of a sudden became night. He's just going when he need to go. He passing by through the beach. He heard some woman is crying. He saw the woman is crying. The woman, she was a Jewish lady. And her husband brought his wife to the mikvah, which is back then they had the mikvahs that we have right now, with the horse carriage, in order for her to be clean for her husband from the nidah. The woman's clothes was inside the horse carriage that the husband brought. The horse carriage with the horse ran, and the husband ran after the horse carriage. The husband not able to stop the horse carriage, that the woman's clothes inside the horse carriage. The woman, after her, went to the mikvah. She's without the clothes. She was shaken from the cold that was outside. She waiting for her husband to come back with the horse carriage, which is the clothes inside. This Baal Tshuva before he was a snitch. He came close and he gave his jacket to this lady, lekasot me'aromeha, so she would become in a clothing because she had no clothing. Bakesh ota ta'ale el ha'agla shelo. Bakesh ota she'ata'ale et agla shelo. He says, you could come with me, you could ride. Kidei le'ovil ota lebeita. He says, I will take you home. Bedelit berira na'anta lo, hu lekach ota lebeita. He had no choice because he was such a pain. He took her to his house. משם פנה לביתו, כל הלילה הגונח מפצעיו, ואין איש בבית. All night, this Baal Tshuva, he started crying and crying and crying from all the pain and suffering, and nobody could help him. אפילו כדי להגיש לו כוס מים, הוא הצדיק עליו את הדין. Nobody even could give him a cup of water. And he says, this is, I deserve whatever happened to me. He starts crying, whatever the pain and suffering it caused to other people. How many people we snitch on? He asked mercy from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, Hashem, for all the sins that I did, please forgive me. תפילתו תקבל נשמתו פרחה עוד בעוד לילה גנזי מרומם. His neshama departed, he died that day. His neshama departed upstairs to the heavens. בבוקר נודע דבר פטירתו יסוג בו אנשי חברה קדישא בית הקברות. So אנשי חברה קדישא, they bury him in a cemetery. בעל האישה נעל שלא מצא את האישה. Remember the woman was with him and her husband did not find his wife, al Sifat Hayam, to the beach that they went, that she could go deep in a mikvah. Chazal lebeito, the husband went back to the house. Va'isha sipra kol hakorot ota. The woman said exactly what happened with him and with this Baal Tshuva, that before he was a snitch. Ba'al latchil lechashot et hamalshin tima et ishto. Now all of a sudden, the husband is suspect on his wife, that she became not pure to him because he made a sin with his wife. Mutallo. Imishto. Mutallo. Valach el Rav. The husband went to the rabbi. He says, my wife is permissible to me or not permissible? He says, from here I could determine that your wife is no problem, she did not do a sin with this man, and you could live together without no problem. There's no problem that they got together, even at nighttime, nobody saw them. But especially if she said that he does not touch her. All he did, he threw a jacket to her so she could be covered from her nakedness. Rabbi says, wait, I'm going to ask in the heavens what happened through the dream. I'm going to see the truth and what's the truth it is about. Bala Tshuva, all of a sudden, this Baal Tshuva appeared in his dream to this rabbi. He said, whatever happened to him, whatever they did to him, his tshuva was accepted upstairs in the heavens. That's why he's able to marry, to save this woman that went to the mikvah by the beach, and she was about to die from the coldness. Bechina mitzvah goredet mitzvah. The Chazal says from here, mitzvah caused the mitzvah. Al she'amasar nafsho kedei shelo lashin al bnei Israel. He did everything, even give his soul, in order for him not to become snitch for the Jewish nation. Titgabel tshuvato. His tshuva was accepted lifnei beit din shel mala, in front of the judgment upstairs in the heavens. Pasku shemakom menuchato yeh b'gan eden. They say his menuchato, he will be in a Gan Eden. B'mador shel Baal Tshuva, he's going to be in a Gan Eden with all the room in a Baal Tshuva, which is the people that did proper repentance. Tomorrow the rabbi said, the dream is everything true. We're going to make a tombstone that according to his kavod, according to his respect. פרסם את המעשה ברבים. Not only that, whatever that he saw in a dream, and he asked in a dream, he said this publicly. So Chazal continues saying it, Avira goreret avira. Over here we learned before, mitzvah cause to bring another mitzvah. Avira goreret avira. A sin cause to make a person to do more sins. כמו שאמרו בתורת כהנים פרשת בחוקותיי. Like it says in פרשת בחוקותיי. ולא תשמעו לי ולא תעשו את כל החוקים האלה. הקדוש ברוך הוא says, if you don't hear me, what I'm telling you, and you don't do whatever the laws I commanded you, ואם בחוקותיי תמאסו, if my laws become disgusted in your eyes, ואם בזאת לא תשמעו לי, and you're not here in my laws, שאינו לומד, and you're not going to learn, בא אחר כך לידי שלא לעשות. If you're not going to learn, you're not going to be able to perform them and to do them. ויש לך אדם שאינו לומד ואינו עושה. You have a person that does not learn, and he's not going to do it. אבל אינו מאוהב באחרים שעושים. But he's not be disgusted by other people who's doing it. תלמוד לומר. Talmud says, אם בחוקותיי תמאסו. If in my laws you be disgusted, שנעשה anti-dati. You're going to hate the people, the observant Jews, you're going to hate them. Shema tomar, af she'eno lomed, one ose. But you're going to say, I'm not learning, and I'm not doing it. Aval eno soneh chachamim. But I don't hate chachamim. I don't hate scholars. Talmud lomar, she'im mishpatai tigal nafshechem. What if you're going to be disgusted and so want to throw up from the chas v'shalom, the laws of Hashem? Zeshu soneh et chachamim. Chachamim said he's going to start hating the scholars. What does it mean that he's not able to do all the mitzvotai? Not only that, he's not able to do it himself. He's not doing it himself. And he's not led others to do also the mitzvot. V'sov shu kofer b'mitzvot. At the end, he's going to be kofer in the mitzvot. Not believer. She'nemar b'sinai v'kofer b'ikar. And he's going to be non-believer in whatever the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is created in this world and the mitzvot to do. She'nemar leprachim et briti. Lefrachem et briti. He says what they did, the covenant between us and Hashem, they nullify. Pirush Rashi b'parashat chilkotai. Rashi says following, Haleh she'avira goreret avira gdola mimena. A sin causes a person to do more sins. V'chen amru b'Shabbat. And that's what it says, Masechet Shabbat, in page 105. Shekach moto shel yetzer hara. What's the profession for yetzer hara? How professional he is. Hayom olo la'asot kach. He says, today you do like this. Lamachar asot kach. Tomorrow you're going to do this. Ad she'omar lecha, until he's going to say the yetzer hara. Lech v'oved avodah zara v'olech v'oved. He says, go do now avodah zara, and a person is going to do and go idol worship. V'chen amru b'yoma. That's what it says in Masechet Yoma in page 39. Lo titma'u behem nitmati ba'am. Hashem says, do not become contaminated, tameh, and you're going to become tameh. Adam mitameh et atzmo miyad. A person just becomes a little bit not pure. Mitamim oto arbeh. He becomes not pure a lot more. Mitameh atzmo limata, mitamim oto limala. He become impure in this world. They're going to impure him and a share in the world to come. Mitameh atzmo ba'olam hazeh. He becomes not pure in this world. Mitamim oto le'olam haba. He becomes not pure and a share in the world to come. V'od amru masechet avodah zara. And it says masechet avodah zara in page 18. Ashrei ha'ish she'olach ba'etzat harashaim. Praiseworthy that man did not go in a advice of the wicked people. She'im halach sofo la'amod b'derech hatayim. If he goes, at the end, he's going to be in a path of the sinners. V'im amad, if he stands, sofo l'shev. If he stands, at the end, he's going to sit with them. Moshav letim, scorpions. Shu latz, he start making fun. Ne'emar alav, let's levadecha tisa. Basucha, Masechet Sukkah in page 52 says, Yetzer hara b'tchila domeh lechut shela bochia. Achabish. Yetzer hara, in the beginning, it looks like a spider web. Spider web is so thin. you could break it without no problem. That's what the Yetzer Hara in the beginning. ואחר כך דומה כעבודת עגלה. At the end, שהוא חבל, עבוד קושרים בו את הפרה, את המחרישה. At the end, whatever the plow, the cow that you rope with, this kind of thick rope becomes the Yetzer Hara. שנאמר, היו משכי העוון בחבלי שווא, כעבוד עגלה חטאה. He says he's going to become like this, so thick a rope that is impossible for him to even get away from it. בתחילה נקרא יצר הרע. In the beginning, it's considered a bad יצר, creation, bad creation. הלך. עובר דרך ואינו מתכסה עמו. יצר הרע in the beginning, a person don't pay attention to him. ואחר כך הכנסה. Then יצר הרע becomes his guest. ואחר כך איש ובעל הבית. After the guest, the Yetzer Hara becomes what? בעל הבית, the owner of the house. So now the owner of the house becomes a guest, but the Yetzer Hara becomes what? בעל הבית. So from here we learn, אווירה גוררת אווירה. אווירה, a sin, causes a person to do more sins. אווירה גוררת אווירה. A sin causes a person to do more sins. מעשה בשעת השמד. It was a time where the Jewish people was very in danger. בחנווני אחד מישראל, one of the Jewish person, שהייתה לה מסעודה, he had a restaurant. והיה מבשל בשר כשר, בקדרה אחד. In one pot, in a restaurant, used to cook kosher meat, in another pot, used to cook pork. והחזיר מוכר לכולם. He used to sell to everybody whatever he needed. כדי שלא ירגישו בו שהוא יהודי. So they should know that nobody should suspect him that he's a Jew. If he's only selling glad kosher meat, or meat, any meat, they're going to say, why aren't you selling pork? So she would not be chashdu. She would not be suspect. מנהג היה שכל מי שהיה נכנס לסעדה, ולא יותר, how do he knows whoever is going to enter the restaurant, who is going to serve, how he's going to serve him the meat, or he's going to serve him the pork. He saw, if somebody did not do natilat yadayim, he did not wash his hands, וידע שהוא גוי, he knew he was a Gentile, גוי. ונתן לו בשר חזיר, he gave him pork. כל מי שהיה נוטל ידיו לאכילה מברך, whoever would do natilat yadayim and do blessing, ידע שהוא ישראל. He knew he was a Jewish, מאכיל בשר כשר. He will give him a kosher, glad kosher meat. פעם אחת נכנס לשם יהודי אחד לאכול. One time, to his restaurant, went one Jewish to eat. ולא נטל ידיו, לא ברך על הפת. Did not do נטילת ידיים, did not do ברכה on the bread. סובר חנווני שהוא גוי. The restaurant owner thought he was a Gentile. והגיש לו בשר חזיר. He gave him the pork. ואכל בו לעשות חשבון. He ate, and he gave him at the end the bill. דרש ממנו 10 דינרים. He says, now you give me 10 coins. הלא אתמול אכלתי בסעודה, במוסדת אחרת, ב8 דינרים. He says, yesterday I ate in some restaurant. They charged me $8. Today they charged me 10. אמר סעודה זה שאכלת בשר חזיר הוא. He says, today you ate from the what? Pork. כשמע כך עמדה שרתיו נבחז. He get up, and all of a sudden, he became shocked. How can he eat a pig? אמר לו בצנעה, יהודי אני, ואכלתי אותו בשר חזיר. He says, יהודי אני, ואכלתי אותו בשר חזיר. The store owner got very surprised, and he says, I'm Jewish. אמר לו, תפתח רוחה, שהרי ראית שאכלת בלי נטילת ידיים. He says, I saw you're eating without making a natilat yadayim, without blessing. סבר הייתי שאתה גוי. I thought you're a Gentile. מכאן שנו חכמים. From here the חכמים says, מים ראשונים, which means natilat yadayim, אכל בשר חזיר. Somebody eating the meat that is not kosher, which means pig.
You don't wash your hands.
Right.
That's the chachamim saying.
Right.
That's as if you're eating pork.
Right. מכאן שנו מים ראשונים באכילה בשר חזיר. אין גמרא חולין, מסכת חולין says in page 106. בפירוש שם רש"י במדרש, בגמרא חולין, מים אחרונים הרגו את הנפש. Whoever does not do מים אחרונים is killing a soul. How is it possible? They're killing a human. מעשה באדם אחד שאוכל עדשים. One person ate עדשים. What did Yaakov give to the Esav? Huh? Beans. So he saw one man eating beans. ולא נטל ידיו. He did not do נטילת ידיים. ולא רחץ את פומו, שף פומו. He did not do מים אחרונים חובה. ועליו הנס מנה עדשים. And he had a beans on his beer. ירד לשוק וידיו מלוכלכות. He went down to the market, his hands are dirty. פיו מלוכלך מן העדשים. His mouth is full of beans that is not washed. ראה אותה חבר הלך אל ביתו. Saw his friend, and he went to his house, to this person. ואמר לאשתו, אמר לבעלך שתיתן לי טבעת שלו. He says, your husband told me, whatever the ring that I left by him, you should give it to me. בסימן שאכל עכשיו עדשים. Says, the wife says, how do you know that's what my husband did? Says, your husband eat beans. נכנס הביתה את הטבעת ונתן לו. The wife, she gave him the ring to this person that he asked him for his ring. אחר שבא בעלה, after the husband came in, ביקש את הטבעת. He says, where's my ring? Where's the ring that I left it? אמרה לו, פלוני בא בסימן שלך ונתתי. He says, this guy came in, he gave me the simanim, he gave me whatever he looks like. תתמלא חמא עליו. The husband went. עמד והלך והרג אותה. The husband went and killed his wife. מכאן אמרו מי שאינו נוטל לידה אחר מזון כאילו הורג נפש. Chazal says whoever does not do מים אחרונים חובה, it's like killing a person. שיהיה רצון שהקדוש ברוך הוא תן לנו מצווה גוררת מצווה, מצווה brings the מצווה, שהקדוש ברוך הוא תשפיע עלינו חוט של חסד, ברכה הצלחה, וכן יהיה רצון ונאמר אמן.